going on, Preneurs?
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Preneur Life, where we talk about wealth hacks to help close that wealth gap through leadership. So we are your hosts, Curtis and Spring Even, and we're so excited to talk with you guys today.
Well, yeah, I wanted to have a convo with you, okay? And the reason why is because you're a talented person,
Right.
right? You know, I got some talents too. You know, God's definitely blessed you with more for sure. But I really want to ask you a question. It's been on my mind a little bit. And my question for you is, how do you keep a talented person focused?
Ooh, that is a really good question.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, that whole topic, that whole swag of talent, right?
Right.
Most people think of their talent as an asset, when in reality, a lot of times your talent is something you have to be aware of. In a lot of cases, it can be a liability.
Wow.
Just as much as it offers you to be a talent, it can be your destruction. Because like you said, a talented person has to be focused, and they have to have work ethic coupled with that talent. If you're a talent person that doesn't work hard, you're just gonna have potential, right? And they always say that the graveyard is full of potential, right?
Yes,
And so it's really unfortunate though, because people get conditioned to lean on their talent, and then they never learn work ethic.
Because it came so easy for them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay.
When things come very easily to you, you don't really know the value of the work that goes behind achieving certain things. And so once you have spent up your talent, a lot of times it's very difficult for talented people to go to the next level, because they didn't have to put as much effort in to get where they were at. So what do you think about that?
I think that's powerful, because my background's basketball.
Right. You know firsthand this whole subject, right? Because you have both.
Yeah. So in basketball, everything's based on performance in that sense, right? But also there's a lot of variables as well that click into it, such as maybe your attitude. And maybe are you a team player? Your ego doesn't get in the way too much, and things like that. So if you don't have good work ethic, you for sure ain't going to get to the next step. But sometimes, I remember there was some people on my team that, they were just natural shooters. Right? So they would just get the ball, I'm having my ball right now. Flick it or wrist, right? That's kind of what it was, right? And it was easy for them. There were some people also on my team that it was tough. That wasn't their talent at all, right? So that talent did take them to the next level, right? So they were able to go into D1, some even played pro. But when they got to the pro level, they never worked on their defense.
Right.
So they got exposed.
Yeah.
So even though they can shoot well, unfortunately, they weren't good at defending. They had bad attitudes. There was all these other things that they didn't focus on, unfortunately. So they didn't really, they have a long career.
Right.
Kind of ended very soon. So, but there's so many concepts like that. I go the other way with it too, saying, you should only focus on your strengths, never your weaknesses.
That's good.
In business.
You hear that a lot.
Yeah, you hear that a lot in business. Like, I'm not going to focus on my weaknesses. I'll hire for my weaknesses, right? So if I don't like administration, I'm good at delegating in our business, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to do any paperwork. I hire an assistant for that, right? I don't want to do this, so I can be able to flourish more in my talent, my gift, my calling. But that also could be an issue too, because I'm not also inspecting the things that I know that are going to be able to hinder my business from the next level.
Correct.
So okay.
I think that's good. I think that's really good. It's something that's very important with people who have that issue, because it's like, okay, so according to our conversation, it's like, okay, so if I'm talented, then I have a problem, right? So let me ask you this.
Well, then everybody has a problem then,
yeah.
Right? Because everybody's talented so fast.
Right. So let me ask you this. So if somebody says, okay, I do have talent, but I want to go the distance, right? I'm thinking about like a Booker, right?
Yeah.
He's somebody that it's like his coming out party, right?
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
From the Phoenix
yes,
Suns, right?
I'm talking about Devin Booker.
Okay.
You look at somebody like Devin Booker. This is like his coming out party. He's been around though, right? He's been around. He was, we were just talking to someone the other day. He was playing for Kentucky, and he was on the bench, right? He was the backup. It's like, you got one of the best players in the league right now on the bench, and it's so interesting because if he had not, obviously he had talent,
yes,
right, to get where he is today. But he's somebody that I think probably had to work on his game to get where he is. So if you have talent and you're somebody that says, I want to still go the distance, I still want to be somebody that you know, I have talent, but I don't want to lean on it.
Yeah.
I want to be better. What would you say are some tips for them to get there?
I think it's important to have people around you that can give you real truth.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a lot of yes people around that say, oh yes, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, but they're not really telling the real hard truth. And that's what's important, to have a coach or mentor that's willing to challenge you and encourage you. I think it's important. If you don't have that, you're already set up for failure, because I mean, the best shooter in the world is Steph Curry. He even has a shooting coach.
Correct.
Like, how can you shoot better than your coach? But there's blind spots, unfortunately, you cannot see, right?
Right.
And so I think that even when it comes to business, you need to raise your family, you know, just want to be better as a person. I think you got to have people around you that are willing to tell you your weak spots, and tell you your blind spots. And I think he had that. And you can kind of see him playing right now. He has a little bit of an edge to him. He's a little edgy because he's a chip. Because he says, I understood what it felt like being on the bench.
Right.
You know, I understand what it felt like not being the number one player, things like that. And so for someone that wants to strive and get better, I put a team around yourself. There are people that are going to sharpen you. They're willing to tell you the real hard truth, so you can keep elevating. That's what would be my biggest thing.
I love it. Yeah. You know, I think to that point as well, I think it's also very important to pay attention to when you feel like you're coasting. Like if something is too easy, you got to evaluate how much work are you putting in.
Right.
And then really challenge yourself. Am I leaning on my talent? Is this just something that is easy for me, or is there more in my tank? Can I push myself better, or do I just am I gonna just settle with what is good? Right? Because my good is good compared to what?
Exactly.
Right?
Good doesn't even be great at the end of the day, right? So
Exactly.
My question for you though is that what happens if you're a talented person, right? But you have multiple talents?
Yes.
You know, so if you go biblically, right? You know, the parables of 5, right? So
the parable of the talents.
Parable of the talents. You know, one person had, 1 talent, 3 talents, 5 talents. But if you are a 5 talent type of person, you know, but you're trying to stay focused in your season of life, how does that work? I got a real question for you, because you're talented. I mean, you can do everything. You sing sometimes, right? You know, acoustics are correctly in the shower, right? You know, happens, right? I mean, you can cook. Oh my gosh, you can cook, right? That's like you got this big rock, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Obviously, more talented amongst that. But you know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, you can do many things. I mean, there's not too many things that you cannot do. You put parties together, everyone wants to be around you. You have so many different talents. You speak very well, you're very smart, you're beautiful. Like, you got a lot going on for yourself. So, how for someone that's very talented, such as yourself, how can you keep a talented person focused, not jumping to so many different talents?
Yes.
You know?
That is a very, very good point, because a lot of people have multiple talents, but they only are in a platform to shine in one, so the rest of them kind of get buried. And as we know through that parable you brought up, that's not the right thing to do, right?
No return.
If you are responsible for 5 talents, then you need to bring a return on those 5 talents. But it is important to be focused and figure out which talent is going to lead you down the vein of being able to get a return on more talents than one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, you're looking at, okay, how can I be multifaceted in my talent and using myself in different ways within what I am doing, if that makes sense. It's very important though to do your best to not become that squirrel, something shiny. You know, let me jump over here. Stay focused. For me, I mean, obviously I'm a very spiritual person. So there's a lot of prayer that goes into that. There's a lot of consulting with God of like what's next for me. But I also think that everyone should have, you know, their goals set out of, okay, what are the things that are going to happen right now that I'm focused on, and what are some more long-term goals that I have to focus on, and include those talents in the future goals sometimes. So it's okay to be focused on what you're focused on right now and yielding a result on this one specific area, but also have a future plan of how that's going to spill over into your other areas.
That's good. Because I mean, if you have one talent, you know what you got to do, right? So, you know, Whitney Houston talent, singing. She was put on this earth, she got a return on her singing, right? But you have 3, you have 5, that kind of gets a little like, oh, which one do I use right now? When do I use it now? So making sure that you have that spiritual leadership, you know, or someone around you to be able to lead you in that direction.
Definitely.
So I like that a lot.
Definitely. And I think it's also important to make sure that you're developing you know, you have to be personally developing, and really driving yourself to become more educated and really streamlined in whatever that talent vein is. So yeah, like you said, have coaches around you, have people that don't mind telling you the things about yourself that you don't want to hear, because those people will be more instrumental in helping you grow and get to the next level. I would always say personal development is the biggest thing. You need to be reading. If you're not a reader, even like listening to podcasts or listening to books, you know, through, you know, Audible or YouTube, whatever it is, and really just putting yourself in an environment to constantly be growing in whatever your area or whatever your field is.
I like that. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a good topic. I think we can do this talking all day. No, seriously. I mean, so many people have different talents. I mean, a lot of people understand their talents right off the bat. You know, this is what I was put on the earth to do, is my talent. And some people need to get it pulled from them as well and say, do you know that you're really good at this as well? Right. A lot of people don't even know they're good at that. Yeah. But also, I think, you know, what helped me was writing them down and saying, these are all my talents that God has blessed me with. You know, in my current seasons, like, how can I get a return on these? How do I effectively do and mold them together where I'm actually excited about my aging every day because it's going close to my purpose? So
I love that. Yeah. You know, I think also as far as like leadership, and when you're you know, trying to do something or get better at something, it's also important to lead from the front. So it's like you can't expect results that you haven't worked for. So many people are looking for results. They're going into that depression of my life isn't what I wanted it. It's not what I expected it to be at this time. You know, we're going through, you know, social media. We're looking at everybody. Donuts every day? Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. We live in this microwave society where people think, okay, I'm just gonna be able to make a wish upon a star, and I'm gonna open up that microwave and boom, it's ready, right? But you have to be patient with the process. And be willing to do the work. Be willing to do the work to get where you want to go. I think the real question back to you is, do people really want to do the work? That's or is it just more of a dream? You know, which unfortunately that dream becomes a nightmare. Yeah. Because they dreaming of the, you know, I want that Porsche, I want that nice house, you know, I want that Rolex, some nice earrings, maybe the red bottoms, some J's, or whatever. Maybe it's not even about the materialistic things. Maybe I want my family to be elevated, all these different things on a mindset basis. Right. You know, I want our whole last name to hold some weight now. They want all these different things, legacy driven. But the real question is, why are so many people not in those situations? Yeah. It's super, it just goes back to that, doing the work, being diligent. Your goal is gonna stay a dream unless it has a deadline, unless you're specific, unless you know exactly what you're reaching for, what the next steps are to attain that. And if you don't know what that is, educate yourself on that, and then find somebody to help you get there. So wish. Yeah. Unless you're wish upon a star. Right. No. Or go grind and go get it, right? So, you know, most people, they'd rather wish upon a star because it's easier. But the more hate. Yeah, or hate on the people who are where they want to be. But it's so funny because you look at these guys like Jeff Bezos, you look at the people who are like uber successful, a lot of times they're the person that you would not think. Like probably in high school or whatever, you're like, oh, I don't know if this guy's gonna be. And the one that you thought, oh, this person for sure, that it's because of leaning on that talent. The other one, they saw the value in the work ethic. So my thing is, find value in the work, do what's hard first. Lean into being uncomfortable. And because there's no successful person that has ever become successful without sacrifice, without going into that grind, that gritty place. But that's hard though. I mean, just call it what it is. I mean, if it was that easy, everybody would just be driving the cars and the houses and the, you know, Instagram picture perfect families and all that. But that's very hard to have that discipline. Yes. So how do you develop a discipline to be able to do that if you're a talented person? Because it's been easy for you the whole time. So, you know, it's like, we need to keep working on this. Why do I gotta keep shooting? I'm already good at shooting. Why do I gotta keep speaking? I'm already good at speaking. Why do I gotta keep doing these different things I'm already good at? Like, how do you change that mindset to increase your work ethic and that discipline would be my biggest thing. Yeah, for sure. You have to have it on paper. You have to write it down. What are my next steps? Then you have to do something every day to attack that thing. You have to be focused on it. Have a schedule. You know, if you're just going throughout your day expecting for things to happen for you, it's not going to happen, right? Or you're just expecting, oh, at some point today, I'm going to go to the gym and shoot around. Oh, at some point today, I'm going to do an appointment, or I'm going to call someone, or I'm going to, you know, further advance myself in my career, however you are. It's not going to happen. You know, you have time stealers that you will not even believe that come into play. To become disciplined, to have something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. So you have to evaluate your schedule, look at what are the things that are keeping you from whatever your goal is. Look inward with yourself and see what are the things that are stopping me every time, so that you can have a course correction already. Okay, if this comes up, because this is what typically gets me, if this comes up, then I know this is my plan to get around that.
That's good. It's a 1% daily increase, huh?
1% increase daily.
Well, it was always a good talk with you, baby.
Yeah.
Looking forward to more.
I love it. That was so good. Such good information. I love that topic. It's leadership. We could talk all day long. But tell us, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this topic today. If you have, let us know. Give us some feedback. Let us know your thoughts on this subject. And if there's anything that you want to hear us talk about, let us know. We'd love to do that.
Yeah, so we encourage you to take this wealth hack through leadership to help us close this wealth gap. Talk to you guys soon.